And welcome to the autumn equinox episode of 12 Blue Lines. I'm Isa Silver. I'm a human design translator, and I'm here today to share the 6 frequencies of dedication and the 6 frequencies of naturalness. The sun is transiting through dedication, the earth through naturalness. Both are identity gates, as you can see in the image. Both are receiving from energy centers or motors, but neither of them carries their own energy nor their own awareness. In fact, there's no awareness going on in any of these channels, actually. Gate 46 dedication is receiving energy, renewable power from the sacral center to go forth in abstract cycles of experience. While gate 25, naturalness, is receiving from the gate of shock, the big dumb gate of the ego that says, heck with the tribe, I'm going into myself. I'm going to center in myself. We'll start with the sun's position in gate 46. The gate of being in the right place at the right time, which, by the way, we always are, but it takes dedication to surrender to that fact. And the foundational line is being discovered. Dedication in obscurity that is discovered. On the bright side here is art for art's sake. On the dark side is exploitation of the artist working in obscurity. Across the mandala to gate 25, naturalness, the foundation is selflessness, selfless action free from motives is the foundational line here. So on the dark side, there's a do-gooder who hides their insecurity by telling everyone how selfless they are. And on the bright side is an innocent selflessness that acts without motive. And there are challenges that come with that. The natural frequency of dedication, of being in the right time at the right place, is the prima donna, the demanding nature that brings in talent, the picky thing. And the dark side, of course, is egocentric and unrealistic. But on the bright side, yeah, the talent can be there. And even though they're demanding, they bring in the success. Now, the polarizing or balancing energy of that in the gate of naturalness is existentialism, devoted and innocent admiration of the now. Bright side, really just being here now. Dark side, trying to project what might happen in the future. Now back to the sharing frequency in dedication. The third line is called projection. I might have labeled it assumptions or expectations. This is the trial and error line of being in the right place at the right time. And on the bright side, it's a determination to stick with what's actually working. And on the dark side, it's this assumption that a potential success will actually happen, which could be very expensive, I imagine. In the gate of universal love, gate 25, the trial and error line is called sensibility. The blue line is the power to withstand failure and shock. Remember, it's receiving shock from, somebody like Isa who carries gate 51, line 6. Hey, let's make a harmony between my separation and your sensibility. Now, on one side is, well, the bright side is the spiritual attitude that understands that innocent action doesn't mean success. And the shadow side, well, I'm going to stick with Ra's teaching on this one about it not being in the collective right now, thanks to Pluto being its activator. But yeah, not everyone will always survive the shock. Back to dedication. Influential is the keynote we can give to the externalizing of being in the right place at the right time, exerting influence through luck and purposefulness is what's happening here. And remember, this is the gate of serendipity, but serendipity doesn't mean being dumb. It's not dumb luck. There's effort and dedication involved here. It has to deal with the energy of the sacral center, right? And uses it. And that collective frequency is balanced out by the individual empowering and centering frequency of innocence in gate 25, maintaining the nature of true innocence. Innocence has some, well, lots of connotations, right, in the English language. Um, but maybe it helps you as it helps me to think of the itness of gate 25. Every single material thing has 25. A rock has gate 25. A broken piece of glass has a gate 25. Its itness is what we're calling naturalness here. And on the bright side, brought out by Venus, is the spiritual attitude and innocence maintained regardless of the environment or the circumstances. The beauty of the rose in the garbage dump. A rose can just be a rose, right? In a lot of situations. How often do you walk by roses and not think twice? But if you were walking through a garbage dump, say looking for food, and then there was a rose growing, how beautiful would that be? And then there's the clarity, the potential clarity of this gate in its exalted frequency of line 5, keeping pace. In lockstep with success is the possibility here. Remember, these are cycles of experience happening here. Not logical, not supportive, not tribal, not empowering, but success coming from being almost in the rhythm, but that kind of leads us over to the logical side. So on the bright side of this exalted line of dedication is the ability to determinedly, is that a word? Stay with the rhythm of success and always be up to date. And of course, there's a dark side, which has to do with wrong timing, the projection that you could be on time, but you are not. And across the mandala, still in the identity center, naturalness, the projection here is healing, the innocent power to heal or be healed. On the bright side is the power of the spiritual attitude to heal and be healed in order to overcome suffering. And the dark side here, brought out by Jupiter, the hypochondriac urge to remain in suffering in order to be healed by others. And where does the healing come from? Does it come from the gate 51, line 5? Does it come from the clarion? I don't know. Are there some hypochondriacs in human design? All right, let's get a little silly and aloof and strange in the sixth line of dedication, because the sixth line's kind of not really there, kind of just up on the roof looking at it all. And while this gate is called dedication, the sixth line, blue line, is the integrity to reject restrictions. And on the Y side of the sixth line frequency is the wisdom and determination to secure one's own integrity and not promise anything unrealistic or something that would lead to personal restrictions. This is my experience. I'm not giving up my experience for you. But then there's the hypocritical side of the sixth line that overextends herself and breaks promises and disappoints others. Yeah, there's a duality to everything. What does that duality look like on the other side of the wheel? It's called naivete. I think naive. Excuse me if I don't know quite the English pronunciation of the Austrian use of this word here, but it's naivete or naivety revealed by actions. Because remember, the sixth line does do things. They do. Doesn't always turn out well. You're listening to it. But on the bright side, innocence manifests itself in naive actions. And then Uranus brings out the shadow here. Inappropriate action. Role model naturalness is inappropriate action, which brings down the facade of innocence. And there it was, the polarity of dedication and naturalness. During a week that in the Northern Hemisphere is often associated with the autumn equinox and the change of the season and the harvest and things like this. And I wonder how much this polarity plays out in that cultural understanding of this time of year. I am now living in a very different culture that doesn't have anything significant like that happening at this time of year. It's actually, well, if you look at the indigenous Mexican culture from the Mexico City area, around this time, they're getting ready for the rains ending and like the dead time coming, because for several months there will be no daily rains as there has been for prior months. So, well, maybe that's an expansion I don't need to hit on. If you made it this far and have never seen your human design chart, here are the places that I suggest going to find it, because there's a lot of places to find a human design chart that I would not recommend. And if you're interested in the text that I shared today, and please be aware, I only shared the blue lines, the middle path lines. I didn't explore the dualities too much. They are available here. The Blue I Ching is what I was using today. I do a separate podcast without images with the complete Rave I Ching by Ra Uru Hu. It is much more shocking and entertaining, so you can find that on the Substack also. And if my voice has indicated to you that there's something about human design for you to learn from me, this is how you can get a hold of me. I'm wishing you all the dedication and openness to luck that you need for this week, and also to remember that naturalness does result in bleeding and scarring and recovery, and there are roses growing in garbage dumps, and may you find beauty in all of those little things. Goodbye for now.